Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Wise. Today we are at the next topic, that is the endgame studies explained. We are at the 66th position of our topic. We have got a very interesting case here. We see that white is having two extra pieces, but the c pawn is difficult to stop, and it looks like the c pawn is about to queen after c2 and c1. Of course, it is white to play and win. Let's get started with the position and let's see what all is happening here. So there are 2-3 ideas which white can try to use in this position. One, he can use the bishop to control the c2 square before the pawn reaches c2. And the second motive could be to use the knight in such a way that when the pawn promotes, the knight can give check and capture the pawn. These techniques we have discussed before. So let's get down to the moves now. 3 candidate moves are there, and white has to act very fast. So knight e7 check, knight a7 check, and bb5 check. After bb5 check, we see that king b5, knight d6, knight is trying to come closer to the pawn, and after the move kb4, knight into e4, c2, we see that it's not possible to stop the pawn from queening, and black queens the game. Knight e7 looks like a tedious thing because there are so many variations. After knight e7, black has kd7, kc7, kb7, kb6, kb5, kc5 and kd6. So in all there are 7 moves. So 7 variations are there. Similarly, there is na7. But by using the elimination method, we come to know that after na7, kb7, there is no check in the position, and the move knight b5 fails to exploit any ideas because after c2, the king is not coming in the range of knight fork along with the pawn either on c2 or when the pawn queens on the c1 square. So this position is again losing for white. So white in fact wins in the variation knight e7 check. Let's see one by one what happens. To the moves ac7 and kb6, there is knight d5 check and the c3 pawn is lost. When we see that white will be able to win the game easily, he can take the e pawn and promote his pawn to queen. Anyway, bishop and knight are also capable of checkmating the king. So kb6 and kb7 is lost. Two main ideas that come to mind is one, kd7 and kb7. These are the two very important moves. After king d7, we see that the bishop's check comes into play. There is bb5 check, king takes e7 and bishop a4, and the c2 square is guarded, and by the time the king comes and attacks the bishop, the white king will go and take the e pawn, and later the bishop can be sacrificed for the c pawn. So this is again winning for white. Finally, after ne7 check, let's look at 3 other candidates, kd6, kc5 and kb7. kb7 happens to be the main line. After kd6 also we see that simply knight f5 check, king moves c5, knight d4, and the knight controls the c2 square. Another very tricky line is kc5. This is considered to be the best location for the king, diagonally 1 square away from the knight, when the knight takes the longest to attack the king. But now comes knight f5, when we see c2, knight d4, attacking the pawn on c2, forcing c1 queen, and white exploits the king and the queen position with knight b3 check. So after kc5, knight f5, c2, knight d4, c1 queens, then knight b3 check, and the queen is taken. So the last variation now, after knight e7, the move kb7, which happens to be the main line as I said. Because to kb7 again there is the only move bishop a6 check, which makes white's task easy. Now the point is, if king goes to a7, then knight c6 check and the knight comes to d4, controls the advance of the c pawn. And after the move kb7, bishop a6, king a6, white can simply use knight d5, force the pawn to move ahead, and then knight b4 is forked and the pawn is lost. So after kb5, knight c2, again white is winning. I hope you are finding these lessons useful. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.